Hey folks, welcome back to another video. Today we're looking at question 581, shortest unsorted continuous subarray. The way we'll be approaching this problem is by creating a new array, which is a copy of the array that's provided to us, and then we'll sort that out, and then we'll compare the elements and then return the number of elements that need to be sorted out to get an ascending array. So let's jump right in. The first thing that we would need to do is create a copy. So that would be num.clone. And the next thing you need to do is sort that array out. Right. And you need to get a start and an end. So we'll be starting with start as nums.length, and we will see why we are doing that, and with end as equal to 0. So for every single element in the array, we will be comparing them. So if nums of I is not equal to copy of I, we will be updating start and end, right? So it would be start would be equal to math.min of start and I, and end would be equal to math.max of end and I. So the reason why we are doing this is because when we start with nums.length and we say, hey, like every time we see something that doesn't really make sense, that's not in order, we're updating it using min, and we couldn't really do that if we started off with start as 0. So that's the reason why we use start as start of min of start and I, and anytime a value has to be updated, for example, you see a number that doesn't really make sense, and then the number right after doesn't make sense either. However, since we have previously updated I, which is an element to the left, this will not be updated again because you want to keep the minimum value. So that's the reason why you have start with nums.I, and the same logic applies to the end as well. Yes. All right, so after that is done, you need to be able to return it. But before you return it, you actually need to check, hey, are there any elements that are out of order? So for that, you would want to check, hey, so if start minus end is greater than or equal to 0, which means that there is a change. Since we're starting with end as 0 and start as num minus 1, if they haven't changed, this would be less than 0, so you don't really have to make a change. So if it is true, you would get a difference between them and return that as a result, which makes sense. If it is false, that means if it is less than 0, that means that actually we don't have to make any of the changes in the array to update that to be an ascendingly sorted array. So you just return 0. So that's the reason why we have this. So let's quickly compile this and see if it's okay. The first test case is okay, and everything else is okay as well. Awesome. So let's quickly talk about the space and the time complexity. The time complexity of the solution is O of n, since we are sorting this array out. So that takes the upper limit, O of n log n, and the space complexity is O of n, since we are creating a copy of the array. So that's the solution for this problem. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. And please don't forget to subscribe. I would really appreciate that. See you all in the next video. Peace.